grace and peace as we're talking about these obscure biblical laws that we have. And for us, they're obscure. For some folks, they're just simply laws. I'm going to start with this well, there's two together. They come from the book of Exodus. Exodus 23, you shall not offer the blood of my sacrifice with anything leavened, or let the fat of my festivals remain until morning, which is then followed by the choicest of the first fruits of your ground shall bring into the house of the Lord your God, and you will not, it's basically saying then, boil a kid in its mother's milk. Yum. Uh, that lovely law is not only found in Exodus 23, but you're going to find it in Exodus 34, 26, and then Deuteronomy 14:21. This law is the reason why when I eat with my Orthodox friends, Jewish Orthodox friends, the question is, are we going to have meat or are we going to have cheese at this meal? Within the laws of kashrut in Judaism, the kosher laws, you're forbidden to cook meat and milk together, to eat meat that has been cooked with milk, or to receive any benefit from that concoction. So, why? What the heck, man? And I can give you all the various arguments if you want, and then this devotional would go on for, I would imagine, several hours. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to tell you that the rabbis have all kinds of wonderful reasons for this. If it's an Orthodox rabbi, it's because God says so. Other rabbis will give us all kinds of things. It'll have to do with finding out, is the milk meat ban kind of general or is it cultural? And they go into whether the terms are of specific points of emphasis, wanting to know why are there these three occurrences, and because it falls in Exodus under these festival laws. What's the connection and what is that context? What are the specific rationales? What's the method of preparation? Is it boiling? And is it specific just to a kid, or is this any and all kinds of meat? And what's the timing and the source substance? And then we get into, well, if it's not a kid and you're using, let's say, not goat's milk, but let's say soy milk, is it still prohibited? And these are the points where I usually laugh and I want to know, do you really care? And they do, but we don't follow the laws of kashrut, so maybe we don't. Maybe we're more along the lines of like anthropologist Mary Douglas, and you might want to look up some of the things that she has to say about where, at least anthropologically, these laws come from, laws that make us go, what are we getting to with this? For me, maybe I would come down here, and this is theologically, of course, for me, that given how you were eating in the time and how things were being cooked, that there's a way in which, with the milk and the meat, spoilage can happen, and the milk can soak into anything wooden, or if the bowl is wooden, so it's going to spoil anything that goes in there after that. And God's a great proponent, I think, of health and not poisoning God's people. So it makes a lot of sense to me that many of the laws that find their ways into kashrut, so clean versus dirty, right, are going to be clean because they're going to keep you healthy and keep you from getting sick or being poisoned and, say, dying. So this is a really obscure law, so you can't eat a kid and a mother's milk, which is just cruel, but meat and cheese together. So no bacon cheeseburgers for us. But it's because you want to be healthy, at least at the time in which these laws came into being. So for the God that was trying to keep God's people healthy, God's people strong, and giving them a life and a promise, a vision and a future. This really weird law does make some sense to me, at least in the time it was written. Let's have fun observing, no, learning more about these obscure laws. Blessings.